What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Johnny K Picks. In this video, I'm going to break down the fights for the upcoming UFC event. This week we have UFC Vegas 43, Vieira versus Tate. First things first, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button for me right now just to get that out of the way. And also don't forget to turn on those notifications so you don't miss out on any of my content. Also, last week I just made a Twitter for Johnny K Picks, so if you want, go ahead and follow me on Twitter at Johnny K Picks. On Twitter, I'll go ahead and post my bets, and I'll also live tweet during each fight. And of course, be on the lookout for my bets video that I'll post later this week, where I'll break down all the bets that I make for UFC Vegas 43. Alright, so before I get into my predictions, I'm going to quickly recap the picks from UFC Vegas 42, Holloway versus Rodriguez. So overall, I went 2-2. I picked Spencer and Holloway correctly. So the Holloway-Rodriguez fight did not disappoint one bit. I was actually very impressed with Rodriguez's performance. Even after his 2-year layoff, he stuck it in there with Holloway, and he landed some good punches and kicks especially. It's just that Holloway is a different kind of fighter. He's a special guy. You know why he was a champion before, and I'm excited to see what he's going to do next. And the picks that I got wrong were Arce and Rothwell. So the Arce and Yadong fight was really close in the first and second round until Yadong caught Arce with a head kick. And I'll admit, Yadong is really good. He might be the real deal. And especially at 23, the sky's the limit for this guy. And Rothwell. Yeah. Totally didn't see that one coming. I mean, I know it's heavyweights and all, and it just takes one punch to knock someone out, but I did not think it was going to be Rothwell being the one being knocked out. But you got to give props to De Lima. He went out there and swung and hit his chin and just kept going at it. But what are you going to do? Okay, so let's get to my picks and predictions for UFC Vegas 43, Vieira versus Tate. So the first fight I'm going to break down is Adrian Yanez versus Davy Grant. Yanez comes in at 14-3, 27 years old, 5'7" with a 70-inch reach. And Grant comes in at 11-5, 35 years old, 5'8" with a 69-inch reach. So to kick off the main card, we have a really good matchup that I'm excited to see. And I'm going to choose Yanez on this one. Grant averages 4.21 strikes per minute with a 47% accuracy versus Yanez's 6.13 strikes per minute and a 38% accuracy. And then striking defense, Grant absorbs 3.25 strikes per minute with a 56% defense versus Yanez's 4.80 strikes absorbed with a 55% defense. So I will say both fighters are pretty good strikers, but I'm gonna give the clear advantage to striking with Yanez. He's just got some nasty boxing and he's super technical. I love how he counter punches and he has power in every shot. Though I will say, Grant does have power in his, but he's more of a looping swinger. He's more wild. He's not very technical like Yanez. And Yanez is mainly a stand-up fighter, but if Grant does want to get this to the ground, he averages a little over 2 takedowns per 15 minutes with a 46% takedown accuracy. It's going to be kind of hard because Yanez does have a 100% takedown defense. But how I see this fight playing out is Grant's going to realize very quickly in the first round that his striking is not even close to what Yanez's is. And once he tries to take him down a couple times and he gets stuffed by Yanez, I think it's just going to be an early night for Grant here. So with my pick, I'm going to say that Yanez wins by knockout. Okay, so next fight we have is Joanne Calderwood versus Talia Santos. Calderwood is 15-6, 35 years old, 5'6" with a 65.5-inch reach. And Santos is 18-1, 28 years old, 5'6" with a 68-inch reach. So in this fight, we have another very good matchup that I'm excited to watch, but I'm going to say that Santos wins this one. Calderwood averages 6.75 strikes per minute with a 50% accuracy versus Santos's 3.55 strikes per minute and a 50% accuracy. And in the defense department, Calderwood absorbs 4.50 strikes per minute and a 52% defense versus Santos's 2.01 strikes absorbed with a 64% defense. So right there, I think both fighters are really good strikers, and honestly, I may give the slight edge to Calderwood, but I will say Santos might have the power advantage. And if this fight does go to the mat, I'm going to give Santos the clear advantage in this one. Santos averages 2.60 takedowns per 15 minutes with a 86% takedown accuracy, and Calderwood's takedown defense is only 63%. So right there, Santos can definitely take down Calderwood, and I don't think that Calderwood's going to be able to stop Santos's takedowns. But the way I see this playing out is Santos is going to want to get this fight to the mat. That's the clear path to victory for her, and it's going to negate Calderwood's really good striking. And once she gets Calderwood down to the mat, I don't think she's going to be able to get back up. I don't think she's going to be able to knock out Calderwood because she is a tough girl, but I can see that there's a small chance that she might get that submission. But with my pick here, I'm going to say that Santos wins by decision. Alright, so moving on up the card, we have Ronnie Yahya versus Kyung Ho Kang. Yahya is 27-10-1, 36 years old, 5'6" with a 68-inch reach. And Kang is 17-8, 34 years old, 5'9" with a 73-inch reach. So we have another interesting matchup here, grappler versus grappler. And I've been going back and forth with my pick on this one, and I'm going to say that Yahya wins this one. Both fighters aren't the greatest of strikers. Yahya averages 1.57 strikes per minute with a 37% accuracy versus Kang's 2.52 strikes per minute and a 44% accuracy. So I would definitely give Kang the advantage in the striking department, but like I said, they're both not the greatest of strikers. But honestly, I think this fight is mainly going to play out on the mat. As I said, both fighters are grapplers and they're both pretty good on the mat, but I'm going to give the clear advantage to Yahya on this one. Yahya averages 2.89 takedowns per 15 minutes with a 33% takedown accuracy, and Kang's takedown defense is only at 71%. So I really do think Yahya has no chance on the feet, and I think he does know that. So he's going to go for takedowns as quickly as possible to get him down to the ground. And it might take one or two tries before Kang gets down to the ground, but eventually I do think Yahya is going to get him down to the ground. And after that, it's just going to be only a matter of time until Yahya wraps up a submission. And even if Kang does get Yahya to the ground, which potentially could happen, I don't even think that's a good move for Kang. I think Kang needs to keep the fight on the feet, and that's where he's going to win the fight. Because if Yahya's even on his back, he can still get a submission. But as I said, I do think Yahya's going to end up getting the submission here, so with my pick, I'm going to say Yahya wins by submission. Okay, so co-main event time. We have Michael Chiesa versus Sean Brady. Chiesa is 17-5, 33 years old, 6'1", with a 75.5-inch reach. And Brady is 14-0, 28 years old, 5'10", with a 72.5-inch reach. Okay, so in this matchup, we have the veteran versus the prospect here. And again, another interesting matchup. I think the matchmakers in this card have done very well for the main card. And again, I've been going back and forth with this one, but I do think that Brady's going to end up getting the victory here. Chiesa averages 1.87 strikes per minute with a 40% accuracy versus Brady's 4.72 strikes per minute and a 55% accuracy. And in the striking defense department, Chiesa absorbs 1.72 strikes per minute and a 54% defense versus Brady's 3.60 strikes absorbed with a 63% defense. So I would definitely give Brady the edge in striking. Chiesa is not the greatest of strikers. He's mainly a wrestler. And with that, here's the stats to pay attention to. Chiesa averages 3.62 takedowns per 15 minutes with a 53% takedown accuracy. And he also has a 68% takedown defense. So remember that number. And with Brady, he averages 2.69 takedowns per 15 minutes with a 60% accurate takedown accuracy. And his takedown defense is 100%. So honestly, both fighters are really good on the mat. And I would say that Chiesa does have a little bit of an edge over Brady in the wrestling and grappling department. But my thing is, I don't even know if Chiesa is going to be able to get Brady down. And after Brady stuffs a couple of Chiesa's takedowns, I think the fight's going to mainly play out on the feet. And if that happens, Brady has the clear advantage. And I think eventually Brady's going to just throw more volume at Chiesa and he's going to win this fight by decision. So with my pick, I'm going to say that Brady wins this one by decision. Okay, so main event time. And before I get into my prediction, if you haven't already, please go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button for me. Okay, so we have Ketlin Vieira versus Miesha Tate. Vieira is 11-2, 30 years old, 5'8" with a 68-inch reach. And Tate is 19-7, 35 years old, 5'6", with a 66.5 inch reach. Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and say it. How in the world is this a main event fight? Oh, that's right, Miesha Tate, household name. Totally get it. But yeah, I know I probably already said this like 3 or 4 times, but this is yet another hard prediction to pick one. But I'm probably going to go out on a limb here, and I'm going to say that Vieira wins this one. So both fighters aren't the greatest technical strikers. I will say that Vieira has the power edge. Vieira averages 2.66 strikes per minute with a 36% accuracy versus Tate's 2.13 strikes per minute and a 42% accuracy. And defense-wise, Vieira absorbs 3.84 strikes per minute with a 53% defense versus Tate's 2.68 strikes absorbed and a 51% defense. So I don't think the fight's going to mainly play out on the feet. I do think that both fighters are going to want to try to get each other on the mat. And both fighters have very similar takedown stats. But the one glaring stat that I will point out is Vieira's takedown defense is 92% versus Tate's 52% takedown defense. So to me, Vieira is going to be the bigger fighter. I think she's going to have more success on the feet, and I also think that she has more success taking Tate down. But the one thing that I keep coming back to, and I'm not 100% sure if this is going to matter, but Vieira's never been past the 3rd round before. So this is a 5-round fight. Tate's been in a couple of 5-round fights before, so she knows what she's going to need to do. But I will say, I do think Vieira is going to win at least 3 of the 5 rounds. It might even just be the first 3 rounds. But I do think she's going to win this by decision. Alright guys, so those are my picks for UFC Vegas 43. As always, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button on your way out. Also, be on the lookout for my bets video that I'll post later this week. And if you're not doing anything right now, go on Twitter and follow me at Johnny K Picks. I hope everybody enjoys the fights this weekend, and happy fight night.